Hi, thanks for clicking on the video. Welcome to the channel. I'm off on an overnighter in a local woodland. I'll take you along. As you can see, I haven't got a backpack with me. I've actually been down to where I'm going to camp and drop my backpack off. I'm just going back there now before it starts to rain. Anyway, I'll take you along. This will be a short video. The lighting isn't particularly good, and we're going to get some rain shortly. Well, this is my spot. Now, behind me up there, about 40 or 50 meters away, there's a path. And over this way, you can see through there, there's about 25 or 30 meters away, there's a large open field. Okay, I'm going to set up the tent now before it starts to rain. I'll bring you back when everything's set up. Okay, I'll just show you the setup. If you've watched this channel before, you've probably seen it all. There's a reflective mat here. This is actually something that came in the post. I think something was wrapped in it. It's these poppet things. A nice reflective layer there. I've got a self-inflating mat here from a vintage self-inflating mat that my son had years ago. I've got this cheap pillow here, which is I think a knockoff of a nature hike pillow. It's very small, very thin, but I've used it 8 times and it's done the job pretty well. I've got the SOL escape bivvy, got an Aegis Max sleeping bag down. I've got a Aegis Max bag liner, supposed to add a few degrees, and a cheap nature hike pillow, which it's not the best, I've got to say, but it's what I've got at the moment. I might look around for something better if I decide that I'm going to come out more often than I have been in the past. I'll just zip this closed now that we've been through that. So there's the setup. I'll just give you a walk around, I suppose. This is a Gear Top Pyramid 2 trekking tent. It's a lightweight hiking tent. I've had it for a few years now. It's small. I've got to say it's small. It's fairly well made. It's waterproof. It packs small. It comes in a small bag and has plenty of room in the bag, so it's easy to put back in the bag. It's not one of those things that you struggle to put away. It does have a problem with condensation. There's a vent here at the front, which I haven't done this up yet, but haven't set these out. You can see they're still hanging loose. There's a vent there, and there's a vent down at the foot. It's really not enough in the conditions that I camp. I tend to leave the door part opened, but even then I'll still get condensation inside the tent right up at the top around the peak, just above my head, if I'm lucky. If I'm not so unlucky, it'll be all over the inside of the tent. This is why I use the bivvy, to keep the down bag dry. Anyway, I'm going to set up for cooking now. I'll bring you back later. Okay, I'm losing light now and I'm being eaten by mosquitoes. It's supposed to be winter. We're expecting it to get down to 10, 11 degrees tonight. With the kit that I've got, that's the lowest I can go, I'm sorry. I'm just too old and too cheap to get a better sleeping bag, and too old to put up with colder weather. So 10 is about my limit. But already there's mosquitoes around and I'm losing light. I'm going to heat up some water, boil some water, and heat up some noodles, and that'll be me for the night. I'll bring you back when the water's boiled. So there's my pocket stove going. It's pretty much the perfect piece of equipment for all you're doing is boiling water, and it's not too windy. Anyway, that should take about 5 or 6 minutes to boil that 400 mils of water. So that's looking west, maybe a bit northwest. There's the main road over there. You can probably pick up the traffic noise on the mic. Scrubby sort of woodland. There's a lot of undergrowth. This is it's winter growth. It's a lot less dense than it is in summer. By the same token, the colder nights mean there's less insects around in theory, but there's a hell of a lot of mosquitoes around at the moment. And you can see that we're losing daylight pretty quick too. The sun's low in the west. Well, the camera's facing west now. You can maybe see the final rays of sun coming through the trees. That's pretty much it for filming tonight. I'll catch you in the morning. You can probably hear the rain outside. It's about 5 o'clock. I was going to get up shortly, but it's quite dark and quite wet, so I might just lie in bed for a little while. It's about 6 o'clock. I've managed to pack everything up. The tent is, there's a lot of condensation. It's been raining this morning. I can't show you the condensation, can I? No. Anyway, the tent walls are a bit like a shower curtain, I suppose. It's quite damp in here. I've got my plastic jacket on to help with the packing up. Try and keep it a little bit dry. But that's the hard part out of the way. I'm just going to put everything in my backpack and have a hot chocolate while I think about what I'm going to do with the tent. Well, I've got some water on the go. It's still very dark out here. You probably can't see very much at all. That's my fuel tablet stove. It's overcast. Usually the sun's up by now. Anyway, the birds are up. You might be able to catch a little bit of the dawn chorus. Don't know. That's looking east and upwards from the campsite. You can just see the sun coming through the trees over there. It's still very, very dark in the woods. It's not as dark as the camera is telling you, but it's still spitting a little bit too. It's going to make it hard to pack the tent away. Anyway, it was a good night. I went to bed at about 9 o'clock, woke up about 11. I don't think I was awake for very long. There was a very brief shower. I went back to sleep till about 4, and I've been pretty much awake since then. It's a bit cold. One of the problems I have with my sleep system is it's a very tight squeeze in the tent, and so to get inside the sleeping bag that's already inside the bivvy is a bit of an effort. On top of that, I had that sleeping bag liner in there, and of course in trying to get into the sleeping bag, I neglected to get inside the sleeping bag liner, so I didn't use the sleeping bag liner last night, although it was inside my sleeping bag, just because I just couldn't find the entrance to it. So a bit of a duffer. The water's boiled. I used a half hexi block to boil the water for the hot chocolate. And aside, I really enjoyed being out here last night. The road quietened down. Bushland was quiet. There was some sort of a bird that squawked periodically somewhere behind me. But apart from that, nothing. I think I heard an angry possum somewhere close to me at some stage. And if you don't know what noise a possum makes, the first time you hear it in the bush, it's terrifying. These small, cute little animals have demonic noise. Scared the hell out of me the first time I heard it. Not last night. I knew what it was, but it did wake me up, but not for very long.
and to wake up to the dawn chorus, to the sound of rain on the tent. It's still drizzling a little bit here, but nothing really to speak of. It was great. It was great. It's a great way to finish the weekend. I'm working from home today. Yeah, I'll really go to work with a buzz. It'll be great. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. I'll probably pack the tent into the back panel of my backpack. It's got a storage area on the outside of it, and I'll just squeeze the tent up and shove it in there, because I'll have to hang it up at some stage today to let it dry out. But if you've got this far through the video, thanks for watching. I've really enjoyed tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the video yourselves, and maybe I'll catch you on another one. Okay, bye for now.